Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition again. I am still in this mercenary fortress. I just killed their leader, but I'm going to look around a little bit more in this place. There are still places that I haven't investigated, I think, like that. Like the top of that tower in front of me. Let's look at it. And I hear a shard. Sure. But where is it? Maybe here? Ah, no! Okay. Okay. And a chest. Nothing else. I wonder if there are more things to discover. I'm not really sure. Maybe I should look into that other tower too. Oh, a quest mark. Let me see. Column marquee. Okay, okay. I remember that. The Inquisition's growing presence in the area represents a threat to the operation. Focus efforts on discouraging any further exploration in the area, particularly any efforts to give comfort to the refugees at the crossroads. We cannot have people putting down roots here. Oh, okay. I think I found what I needed to find here. I can just move out. But maybe I'm going to find that shard somewhere around here? I'm not sure. Can I just go down from here? Yes. Where is that shard? Let me look into the horizon to see my blue mark. No, it's down there, so no worries. I can just leave. How nice. I got myself hurt. Jump, jump, jump again. Nah. Okay, let's try it from here. No. From where then? Stupid thing. Okay, I have it. And another shard over here and a rift over there. What's that return policy? And how am I supposed to go there, I wonder? I have no idea. What should I do? Well, it's obvious that I am going to come back to this area to close this rift. So let me just leave it for now. Go to Crossroads, return in that quest in Redcliffe. No, not to go back to Redcliffe, and then just go back to Haven. Because I haven't been to Haven for a long while. It will be good if I go.
We look around.
Look around, but they are locked. We can't just. Unfortunately.
Statues so great as those whose remnants lie toppled these hills.
Hello?
I do not suppose you found my Sena's shrine.
I did.
I know it is a long way to go.
I cleaned Sena's shrine and placed the flowers. May her ashes be gathered by Falondine and carried safely.
after all the long years she carried me. Thank you. You do a foolish old man too much kindness. Maceranus, Darlene,
Don't worry about it.
take this with my gratitude. Sera would have wanted you to have it.
Okay. I'm happy that I helped. And yeah, let's try to complete that one too. I guess I'll have to turn that smuggler in. I'm not sure what to do about her.
Travel safe. Good day.
Where was she? Somewhere around here.
Something like that. Could be better.
Take care.
There she is.
What do you want?
Special. Very.
What kind of cut are they giving you? Have you got protection? I see a suspicious lack of guards. It looks to me like you've been cut loose. Maybe you should look for a new employer.
Are you
Like
serious?
Inquisition.
The high and mighty Inquisition needs smugglers. All right, I'm in. Seems like the
Okay.
Inquisition is the safer bet these days.
Wow. So it worked to bring other companions? Now I'm glad that I didn't turn her in. Okay.
Hello again.
Lysis? Who are you? Did we talk? Huh.
How long has Magister Alexius been here?
A day or two after the Conclave, he arrived. Come to save us from the wrath of the Templars, they said. But this doesn't feel like safety.
Did we talk before? I don't
You seem
remember.
young to be part of this.
I'm Lysas. I came into my magic when I was 9 years old. Templars came into the alienage and took me to the Circle. They didn't even let me say goodbye. It's not right. I studied hard. I passed my harrowing. I sing the chant. But I'll be locked up for the rest of my life.
No, it's not fair. I know.
You don't approve of the Grand Enchanter's decision.
I was there when we voted to leave the Circle. She really seemed to care what we wanted. She was ready to rebel, but she wasn't going to unless it was the will of all mages. It's hard to believe she'd go behind our backs and sell us to the Magisters.
Take care of yourself.
There's
something
definitely
strange going on.
I never thought
Yes.
the Grand Enchanter would swear to a Magister.
There's definitely something strange going on there. It's not that easy. I don't think she just sold you. Something more is going on. Let's go back to Haven. I think we will find out soon enough. So, no worries in that regard. Annulment at Daresmoot. White Spire, okay. Hello, Haven. Should I start talking to everyone?
Do you need something?
Not really. I just wanted to.
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
So, Cassandra, you worked for the
So
Divine.
you are the right hand to the Divine.
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
Are you talking about the events of that anime movie of Dragon Age? Then I know. But, tell me, what is a right hand?
What does a right hand do, exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
But you believed her,
You
right?
thought she could really change things.
Justinian knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
Okay. Well, tell me about Nevada
You
then.
don't seem to like your homeland much.
My family polluted it for me. What little I
Polluted?
saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Nevada, the real Nevada, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
What about your
Your
parents?
What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Okay.
Your uncle was a mortalitasi?
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Nevarans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
And I will never ever understand that in a world that the death can just rise up, you go and bury them and do not just burn them. It's the most foolish thing I ever heard. That's really foolish. Okay. How did you become right hand then? Tell me about it.
What's the story about you becoming the
Yeah,
right
story.
hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that?
Yes.
What, 18, 20 years ago?
That
Some
much?
still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
But that's how stories work. If you ask Varric, you will
That's
know.
what happens with stories that become legends.
I am not a legend, nor was I then. I was a young woman barely out of training. To hear others tell it, I alone saved divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart, and there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral, but I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
Are they really forgotten? What become of the mages?
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and most holi's gratitude. Many of them died at the conflict.
You know, Cassandra, I think it's really
An
impressive.
impressive tale. I can see why people enjoy telling it.
Just wait till they start telling stories about you.
Okay, we will see if that happens ever. I'm not sure if she's going to answer, but I can
Tell me
try.
about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of
Okay,
Anthony.
I thought so.
Another time, perhaps.
I'll
Alright,
let you get
thank
back
you.
to work.
Let's check on Callan too. Hello, Callan.
Did you need something?
Anything I should
Is
know?
there anything I should know?
Redcliffe wasn't always a refuge for mages. Some of our recruits have family there. They fear for the place, as do I.
Let's
What do you
gossip
think of the
a little
people
bit,
you work
maybe.
Who do you mean?
Did I just ask you about this before.
What do you think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
And Liliana.
How do you like working with Liliana?
The Inquisition would not exist without her. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than anyone. Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, but Liliana is just as responsible for its formation.
About
Are
soldiers?
you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our numbers are small, but they suit our needs for the time being. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable in training new recruits.
Okay,
I
thank
should
you.
let you get back to work.
And I have Iron Bull and Creme over there. Hello. Buy and sell. I need to look into
How's it
that.
going?
Well, you know. Ooh, I actually heard a banter about it, but you know, I can still ask.
How did you get the name Iron Bull?
I picked it. We don't have names under the cube. Just, I don't know, job descriptions, I guess. When I came to Orlais, I chose the Iron Bull for myself.
But I think you like the name. Yeah,
But
why
why
the name?
specifically Iron Bull?
This may surprise you, but I really like hitting things.
No, it
Also,
doesn't
it's
surprise me at
the
all.
Iron Bull, technically. I like having an article at the front. It makes it sound like I'm not even a person, just a mindless weapon. An implement of destruction. That
Sure.
really works for me.
If it works for you, yeah, sure. Can you tell me about Ben
I'd like
Hassaret?
to know more about your work with the Ben Hasrath.
Ben Hasrath is actually a general term. You've got the secret police who investigate problems inside our territory. You've got the re-educators who take people with problems and fix their minds. Or make them disappear. And then you've got the spies.
How do the
Re-educators.
re-educators work?
I only know the basics. Wasn't my area. That said, keep a man awake long enough. Ask the right questions, give the right potions, and you can get him to say anything. You don't need blood magic or demons
That's
to change
unnerving.
someone's mind. We're a lot more fragile than we'd like to believe.
Is it really that easy?
You
Yeah.
can alter someone's beliefs that easily.
One of my friends was a re-educator. He said that every memory is like the page of a book. When you examine a memory, you're turning to that page, and when you're there, the page is laid bare. Write a few notes in the margins of the page, erase a word here and there, and your whole outlook changes. I always felt a
Wow.
little weird reading after that conversation.
The re-educators sound horrible.
Yes.
Yeah, they probably do. Here's the thing, though. What happens in Orlais when you commit a crime or betray a lord? They just lop your head off. At least the Qunari try to fix you.
You know, I have an idea that they are kind of turning these people into tranquils, but after doing that, when you empty a person, when you make him or her a tranquil, but they write something into it, so they code these tranquils according to their wishes. Kind of, maybe. This is just something just came to my mind. It's obvious that your job is spying.
And you're a spy.
Close. I am now, I suppose. But that's not how I started. They sent me to Saharan because they needed someone who could fight and hunt down problems. That whole island was a sack of cats. Incursions from Tevinter, Tal Vashath, and native rebels fighting both sides. And in the middle, me, trying to wrangle the rebels and restore order.
Probably fun
You seem
for
like
you.
the type who enjoys a good fight.
There's a good fight, and there's finding out who put rat poison in the bread and killed a bunch of children. I hunted down a lot of rebels. Lost a lot of friends to the Vince, or the Fog Warriors, or the Talvashath. One day I woke up and couldn't think of a damned reason to keep doing my job. Turned myself into the re-educators.
Oh. What? But you know what they do?
You'd heard what the re-educators did to their prisoners.
Yes, I had. I wanted them to fix me like they fixed them. The Ben Hasrath ordered me to go to Orlais, ostensibly as a Talvashath, and work undercover. That's how I ended up here.
So they didn't really re-educate you, they sent you to Orlais. Wow.
That's, damn.
You did ask. Anyway.
I know.
Nice talking with you.
Nice talking with you too. And you? What's up?
What can I do for you?
I already asked you these questions, right? That's
We'll
what I
talk later.
remember. And there's Blackwall over there, and I have a buy-sell option. Taslin, Strider, I can buy horses, and it's free. Yeah, why not? Okay. Sure.
Good date.
And I can probably change them from here. Ah. And I have them all locked. They're all locked. Vornak! What? I have to see that. Can I see it?
That'll do fine.
That's a knock. What the? Oh my. I prefer riding horses, I think. Definitely, or Hala, maybe. Wow.
Please send Fist
Where's
for
Blackwall?
refreshments.
Blackwall? Where is he? Cassandra, Cullen, Iron Bull. He is here. Where is he? I don't see him. Let me just try to do this.
Please send Fist
Okay.
our thanks for the refreshments.
There he is now.
Heard you found something that had to do with wardens. Would
Yes.
have liked to have seen it.
You
I've been
seen
meaning
it?
to
You were
thank
there?
There are 100 things that need your attention. You didn't have to take the time to help me, and yet you did.
No problem. It was on the way,
Don't mention
yes.
it. We happen to be in the area.
And here I thought we were having a special bonding moment. But
Not
I've seen the
really.
things you've accomplished, and my admiration is not diminished.
You're really not my type. You know, I don't know. Maybe later I'll think about it if I like you more. I don't know. Yeah, I don't care what you think. Not that bad, come on. We will do
There will be
better, don't worry.
opportunities for us to do even more in the future.
Then I look forward to it.
Okay, tell me your thoughts on the
What do you
Inquisition.
think of the Inquisition?
I expected more men, better equipment. You may have Andraste's favor, but wars are won by men, soldiers.
I know. But yeah, wars can also be won in many
Brute
ways.
force is not always the answer. There are plenty of other paths to victory.
True enough. Still, it never hurts to be prepared. One thing I
Okay, I
will
know.
say about your men, they're passionate, devoted. You inspire them. Build on that
Me?
foundation, and you will have an army that makes nations tremble.
So, can you tell me about our inner
You
circle
must have
then?
some feelings about our friends.
Have you seen the stories Varric's been writing? His descriptions of me are colourful, to say the
How?
least.
Can I ask
You
again?
must have some feelings about our friends.
Madame Vivienne only allied with the Inquisition because she knows it will bring her power. The
Right,
most
I
poisonous
know.
snakes are often the most beautiful.
Ooh. But I'm kind of aware that she has something to gain from this, like a lot more than the others.
You must
Anything
have
else?
some feelings about our friends.
Have you seen the stories Varric's been writing?
Okay, you're
His
telling me the same
descriptions
thing.
of me are colourful, to say the least.
Maybe I can ask later again. What about advisors? Okay.
What do you think of my advisors?
Josephine's lovely, and craftier than you'd expect. The Inquisition could not have picked a better ambassador.
Sure. And what about Haven?
What do you think of Haven?
It's a war camp that was once a pilgrim's refuge. It's the state of the world, though, isn't it? Holy ground turned into a battlefield. Pity about that temple. Would have been nice to see it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, about
What
the
do
war
you think
then.
about all this trouble between the Mages and Templars?
Looking at it from where we stand, it seems inevitable. But that could be hindsight. How many of us actually saw it coming? Either way,
None
I
of
don't
us.
think the Chantry will ever recover.
We will see. And what about our cows
What do you
then?
think of the Inquisition's cause?
Restoring order is a goal I support wholeheartedly. But that's not the end of it, is it? Not by a half.
No.
The Lady Seeker believes we are restoring the Chantry. Others say it needs reform. I don't know where you stand on the matter, and I'll admit I haven't made up my mind either.
Okay, let's talk again.
We should
later.
return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
Not really. Just I'm closing rifts. That's all. I think advisors are kind of in charge here. Let's talk to Varric. Maybe he has something to say to me?
Need something?
No, and apparently you don't
Carry
have
on.
anything to talk to me about. Solus then, next. Oh no, I forgot about Sera. Let's talk to Sera. New song? Really? Oh.
She was so fast and quick with her bow. No one quite knew where she came from. Sera was never quite the quietest girl.
I like this
Attacks
song.
were loud and they're joyful, but she knew the ways of nobler men, and she knew.
And
how
she's
to
standing right over
leverage
there.
them. She would always like to say, "Why change the past when you could understay today?" She will fight to keep her way. She's a rope and
I can't believe that she wrote a song about Sera.
Chasing the Lord
Hello.
Seeker right here. Anyone who thinks they need Lord in front of their name, that's bad. Bet he's got a portrait taller than he is. That's your first clue to a total arse. Fact.
You don't fit the Inquisition. Investigate. Any opinions about our
What do you
allies?
think about the people who have gathered?
Which? The ones who do things, the ones who give orders?
Ooh, I can ask. Gossip. Cassandra.
Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? Tough though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
Yeah, me too. Varric?
Anything to say about Varric?
Varric? Too clever. Always saying something, but never saying it straight.
That's true. Solus?
What about Solus?
Solus? His head's cramped up 1,000 years ago.
Sure. My
What do you think
advisors?
about our spy master, ambassador, and commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. I swear I've seen
Pretty in
her too.
places.
Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair though.
Nice hair. Oh, tell me about Vivienne.
What's your opinion of Vivienne?
She's a bitch, but she knows.
Ooh.
Better.
I know she's a bitch kind of.
Thoughts on Iron Bull?
It makes me wonder about things. I mean,
What?
do women look like? Woof.
Any
Blackwall?
thoughts about Warden Blackwall?
He's too good, right? I'd like to see him out of that uniform. Not like that.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here.
Alright.
The Chantry isn't supporting us.
I told you that it was complicated. Without the Divine...
You people, with your fancy robes and your fancy words, you think you sing a better chant than the rest of us, but you really only hear yourselves nattering on. We don't need a Divine. We have the Herald, and whatever she says is good enough for me.
No, don't go there. Solas, hi there.
What can I do for you?
Apparently nothing.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Okay. Oh, my potions. I want to look into my potions. Anything that I can upgrade. I still don't have a Dawn Lotus. And my regeneration potion, yes. I have nothing. And I'm not sure about Lyrium potion yet. Okay, what about my tonics, grenades? Rock armor tonic. Do I want this? I'm not sure. I'll think about it. And grenades. Please! Blood Lotus and 1 Dragon Thorn. But don't I need the Dragon Thorn for something else? But I think I can just... I don't need to upgrade it. I can just have it right now. Ooh. But this is not unlocked. I have to unlock this. Okay, I'll come back for it.
These are safe to serve.
They're fine. Nobody will take them.
Next, I think Liliana is there. What are you doing? Come down.
It seems Blackwall knows nothing about the disappearance of the Grey Wardens. It's a disappointment. I am, however, glad that he is with us, even if he was not what I expected. He seems to be a good man, and his experience will be an asset to the Inquisition. As for the other Wardens, I suppose we will have to keep looking.
I suppose. So, tell me a little bit more, Liliana. You are well connected.
You seem to know a great many people. I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
Of course. And how do you know Josephine?
You seem to know Josephine quite well. I met her a long time ago, but we didn't become good friends until years later. After the Blight, in fact. I'd just returned to Val Rayo, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see. The ball was... alright. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
Tell me about that real party.
A real party. It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
Okay.
We can continue this conversation later. You know where I am. Did you need something?
Let's speak a little bit more. So you're Justinian's left hand?
They called you the left hand of the Divine.
That they did? What of it?
Why start an Inquisition?
What is the point of an Inquisition?
Justinia would have started the Inquisition if the Divine Conclave failed to restore peace. She hoped that with enough support, we could challenge the very tenets of the Chantry. She wanted the Chantry to treat the mages fairly. But sometimes I wonder, why stop at mages? The Chantry has committed many injustices. If we're going to change it, why not change the whole thing? It's just a thought. None of this will be possible if we fail.
No, I kind of like it. And you know, can you believe that it can really happen?
Are you saying we'll fail without the Divine?
I'm saying I thought it would be her leading us. Nothing more.
Okay, I got you wrong there. Why don't you join my party?
I could use the left hand of the Divine at my side out there.
Every agent out in the world is my eyes, my ears, my blade.
Wherever my people are, I am also. Coming with you, leaving my post, would blind and bound me. Do you see?
Probably. Yeah, I think I kind of know,
What
but
exactly
you can
does
tell
the
me.
left hand of the divine do? A divine always has enemies, and Justinia had more than most. I protected her. I watched, had an ear to every door. I identified threats, and I dealt with them.
But why so enemies?
Why did Justinia have so many enemies? There were many who felt she was unfit to be divine. She had a past,
Why?
a worldly life. And like many, she wasn't given to the chantry as a child. She chose it. And somehow that made her unworthy. And because they thought she was unworthy, they wished her harm.
Yeah, stupid people. But yes, you are evading the question.
You still haven't told me what you did, exactly. I handled difficult situations that couldn't be resolved through more delicate means.
Like, if Cassandra cannot punch, you do something else, like backstabbing.
We'll talk more later.
Sure, we'll talk
Did you
again.
need something?
Oh, no, carry
I'll
on.
leave you to your work.
Sorry. I still have people to talk to. Let me look into those requisitions.
When will you be able to find anything we need?
Make a watch over you.
Oh, I should also
These truths the Maker has revealed to me. As there is but
go
one
and turn in
God,
my research, I think.
there is but one God.
Apothecary Adon says
Yes.
you'll have the reagents you
Good.
requested soon.
Please send him my thanks.
Alright. Josephine,
Greetings.
how are you doing? Anything to report?
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
Any
Our
thoughts on the
allies?
people here?
Who did you mean?
We already talked about this, didn't we?
Let's
I
speak
asked
later.
you.
Goodbye.
But
What may I do?
wait
for
a
you?
minute. Tell me about yourself. What does your family do?
What business are the Montiliers in exactly?
We began as merchants. My ancestors founded the first trade routes to Rivain. We once sent entire fleets across the Waking Sea.
But what happened?
But not anymore.
No. These days, our vessels are a touch more modest.
But why? Okay. Tell me about
What
your
did you
work.
do before coming here?
I had the great honor of serving Antiva's crown as ambassador to Orlais. I'm also first in line to become the head of House Montilier, though my siblings attend to our mercantile affairs.
So, are you doing this for Antigua?
How strong are your past loyalties?
I would never have given up my position if I did not intend to fully commit to the Inquisition. We cannot fall back on borders. Antiva is as threatened as any country by the rebellions. If anything, the alliances I forged there may help our current cause.
You know, if it was otherwise, I don't think Liliana would choose you, so I trust you, kind of.
Do you think the Inquisition will continue after we seal the breach?
If we prove ourselves by healing the breach, people may turn to us for other things. Protection, counsel, justice. The Inquisition offered these once to those in need.
Do you believe I'm holy?
Tell me, do you believe I was saved by Andraste at the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I should much like to believe so, Your Worship. The miracles Andraste performed were so long ago,
Your Worship?
they're difficult to picture. If it were truly her and the Fate who saved you, well, in any case, many already believe you walk in the Maker's light.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Yeah. And
With passion for
Vivienne, I have Vivienne still.
a learned child is a blessing upon his
Hello.
parents.
Yes?
Let me ask you, Vivienne. Tell me about
I'd like
yourself.
to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Whatever would you like to know?
How did you become a
I'm
courtier?
curious how a circle mage winds up a courtier.
Nobody winds up at court, my dear. It takes a great deal of effort to arrive there.
I caught the eye of Duke Bastien de Gislaine.
Oh.
An advantageous connection that opened many doors.
That kind
when
of
the position of Enchanter
advantage.
to the Imperial Court became vacant, I was able to secure it.
You're married,
You married
to
the
the Duke
Duke?
de Gislaine?
Of course not, my dear. Don't be ridiculous. Marriage is the business of alliance and inheritance. I'm Bastien's mistress.
What about his wife?
And what does the Duchess de Gislaine think of this arrangement?
We got along quite well. Duchess
What?
Colleen and I used to host musical salons together. She was a great patron of the arts. She passed away from a fever a few years ago, the poor dear.
Okay.
Yes?
Anything else? Or legions, I think. Can you tell me about the
I
circle
wanted
then?
to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
About Templars?
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in the Circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarrans or men. I have known some who were impossible to endure and some who were utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Val Royaux. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements at bay.
But the circle is
If the
disbanded now,
Circle
so...
disbanded, how can you still belong to it?
The circle is an idea, my dear, and an idea cannot be dissolved. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the circle in two. The rebels follow her, the loyalists follow me.
But you're saying that it's an idea, but it doesn't really have an effect right now. That idea, without the foundation. Shouldn't you replace Fiona
If you
then?
led all the loyalists, why are you only First Enchanter and not Grand Enchanter?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no First Enchanters besides myself, no vote can be held. I could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored, that will change.
What happened to other first enchanters? They're all dead? Okay, what was circle life
What was it
for
like to
you?
live in a circle?
My dear, your question is the root of all problems with mages. I cannot tell you. Every circle was different. Their Templars were different, their politics unique. And every person within each tower had an experience of circle life unique to themselves. Some people suffered and some were content. Some were cruel, some compassionate, and some indifferent. The same is true of people everywhere, in all circumstances, whether they are mages or not.
But you know, that's not... yeah, your experience.
So tell me about your personal experience with the Circle.
I enjoyed life in the Montsimard Circle, my dear. It was an edifice devoted to knowledge and refinement. And there is comfort to be had, you know, in the company of fellow mages. Those born without magic will never truly understand us.
Was it hard, the confinement?
You must have been under constant supervision, being forced by Templars to live in the tower. Was that hard to endure?
My dear, I have a suite in the palace and a wing at my dear Duke Bastien's
Oh.
estate. I've never been forced to live anywhere.
That's...
Most circles allowed mages to live away from the tower, either on their own or in service to the nobility. All that was required was permission from the first enchanter. Some circles were harsher in their restrictions. Kirkwall was the worst, but it was the exception. Most were quite permissive. Perhaps too permissive, in retrospect.
It wasn't a circle life for you, that's obvious now, and that's why you can't really relate to other mages in this case. And you actually refuse to relate to them? I believe for now. I will see what happens later. So how did the rebellion start?
How did we come to this state with the circles in revolt?
A failure of perspective that infected circle leadership. Mages lived solely in a world of Templars and mages. They could not even imagine what was beyond the tower walls. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection. But the malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions. When a mage attempted to assassinate Divine Justinia, again, the mages protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars, sparing no thought to the fact that magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day. So long as they had their freedom, they could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
Okay guys, I think I'll have to come back for these later to Vivienne because I am really out of time and need to finish my episode. So let's meet again. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.